It was 20 years ago today, the Beatles' 20th anniversary releases. From movie soundtracks to greatest hits to picture discs, it was 20 years ago today on another vinyl show. Ike Frazier Industries presents another vinyl show with Ike Frazier. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Ike Frazier. We got a video today about the 20 years ago today anniversary starting in 1982 with the greatest hits of the Beatles, 20 greatest hits. That record's kind of become obsolete now, of course, because we got Beatles 1, which has way more songs on it, inserts, photos, the poster. It's just a way cooler set. Everybody should get one if they don't have it. But the Beatles didn't really have any 12-inch singles, but the solo Beatles, you know, they had lots of them. Even Yoko had a lot of 12 inches. She had a lot of #1 disco 12 inches. But the incredible thing from the picture disc series that started in 82 and ended in 90 is the beautiful Hey Jude picture disc. This is the only official 12-inch Beatles picture disc single that has ever been released. You'll see some nowadays that are fake, so you gotta be careful out there. You'll see some real releases that you've never heard of before, and those are people privately pressing those in other countries and selling them to you. But we didn't have another picture disc single in America until the Yellow Submarine single. And that was a really cool limited edition release in 2015, I think it was. Maybe 2015, 2018, hard to remember. And then the last 12-inch single, which is really, in the United States, the only official Beatles 12-inch single that I'm aware of, was Now and Then. And then, of course, this one right here is the beautiful red vinyl version. And we'll get to that in the video. And, of course, that has an insert with it and the George Harrison clock on the back. And then it is the Apple A-side. Look at that beautiful record right there. Beautiful Apple A-side. I don't know if you see that. Woo! Apple. And then on the B-side it has Ringo's original Love Me Do with him drumming on there and no tambourine. And that is the beautiful red vinyl. So this video kind of jumps around a little bit in the 80s, but I think you'll find it informative and you might see a few records that you've never seen before. But I do want to say again, more subscribers this week. You guys are really awesome. I thank you so much. It, like I said, it chug, keeps us chugging along. And it's just really great. We thank you for the support. And every time we get more subscribers and more views, it gets us ready to get you guys some more videos. And I think I've got another one coming after this about a rare Apple single you might not know about. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'm Ike Frazier. It's another vinyl show. We'll see you next time. The Beatles' 20th anniversary releases. In America, 1982 wasn't too much of an anniversary, but we did get the Beatles' Real Music, a soundtrack album containing new stereo mixes released March 24th, 1982 here by Capitol Records in America. And we also got the accompanying movie medley 45, which was a trend in the early 80s that hasn't worn on very well. But then in October, we got this beautiful Love Me Do single from Capitol. And that was a limited single, but it was an advertisement basically for the new Beatles Greatest Hits that was coming out. The Beatles' 20 Greatest Hits, with a truncated version of Hey Jude to squeeze all 20 songs onto the record. This album was really the first time that all the Beatles' #1 singles had been put together. The inner sleeve, though, was basically just a rehash of the rock and roll music poster from 1976, and it was released on the Purple Capitol label here. Now, the record was not as successful as Capitol had hoped for, only going to number 50 in the pop charts. But in the UK, it was a different story in 1982 because Love Me Do came out in 1962, and of course that was their anniversary. 20 greatest hits in the UK here we see on the black label, very nice copy there, with duophonic mixes as well. It went all the way to number 10 in the UK pop charts. But even better than that, the 20 years ago campaign starts with these beautiful picture discs. all of the Beatles' UK singles, starting with Love Me Do, October 4th, 1982. All of your favorite 22 Beatle UK singles released in a 7-inch picture disc format for the very first time, and they would be released basically 20 years to the day of their original release as a single. So it would take you basically the whole decade to get them, the 8 years, and it ended in March 5th, 1990 with the release of Let It Be, as Long and Winding Road was not a single in the UK. And here we see the release dates for each and every one of them. You can pause at any time to check these dates out, but that has the original UK release date and the original date of the picture disc release about, 40 years ago now, I guess. And so the one single, Hey Jude, came out as a 12-inch picture disc, and this is the only official Beatles 12-inch picture disc. And since it was originally released on Apple, it came with a cool Apple insert there, and these are pictures from the promo film for Revolution on that side. And the Beatles didn't have many 12 inches, so here we go. Beatles 12-inch singles from around the world. This is the very rare Capitol promo from 1978. This is the Colombian maxi single with Hey Jude, Yesterday, and A Hard Day's Night. And that actually came in 2 colors, released in 1980. It came in this beautiful golden yellow and a clear kind of Coke bottle green from Colombia down in South America. And then in the UK, they had the 12-inch maxi single for Love Me Do. And then they had, for some reason, All You Need Is Love released as a 12-inch single. And that was released July 6th, 1987 to correspond with its 20th anniversary release. And here's a black label, very nice copy right there. I've heard the sound quality is not so great. Then Hey Jude on a 12-inch black vinyl single with picture sleeve. These all have a thin paper stock. August 30th, 1988 was its release date, and here's the black label of that. But like we said, the picture comes from the promo of, they used it on David Frost and the Smothers Brothers. There's the B-side label right there. But it was also released as a 12-inch picture disc. And this beautiful 12-inch picture disc came out in 1988 at the exact same time. There's the beautiful Apple insert on the A side and the B side, because there's no Apple logo on the actual record. But the next 12-inch we'd get in America was Now and Then, and that was basically it. We had no 12 inches in America except for the Capitol promo of the German language and Now and Then. What could be the values of these? Well, that German language promo from Capitol Records that you see there, it has both songs, and I don't know what kind of mileage they were hoping to get out of this, but it's a beautiful release. As you can see here, this is the orange vinyl issue, and none of those sold for $41 on eBay. And here's the clear vinyl. I couldn't find a sale price for the clear vinyl. It's milky clear. And here is the golden Columbia Hey Jude maxi single. And like we said, those come in 2 colors. Discogs had one of these go for $60. And then the clear green version, that went for, what did that go? $76 on Discogs right there. So that's, a pretty rare one. The 12-inch maxi single is about $30 to $50, and you can get a sealed copy for about $50. And it has the rare version of Ringo Starr playing the drums on Love Me Do, so he's not playing tambourine on that, he's just playing the drums. The 12-inch of All You Need Is Love, which you said earlier, some people say is not very good sound quality on that. It's $41 with the rare insert there promoted in the single. $82 and $88 on Discogs for the Hey Jude black vinyl 12-inch. Now on the insert, you'll see the catalog number with the 12 that designates it's a 12-inch picture disc. eBay, $131, Discogs, just $40. Black vinyl Now and Then, well, that went for $35 on eBay. That's about what it goes for these days. But the red vinyl Target exclusive, still sealed on eBay, that went for an incredible $130. And the rarest of the picture discs was the Strawberry Fields picture disc, accidentally pressed with 12-inch art. But there was never a 12-inch single released of that. And that sold on eBay for $330. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time.